Hello and welcome to the Angus Report, a news program geared toward cattle producers. I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Paige Wallace. From American Angus Association headquarters in St. Joseph, Missouri, we bring you the week's top headlines.
New FCC rules could pose problems for broadband access in rural communities.
We discuss the outlook for the fall sales season.
And a new online auction service opens the doors for additional Angus cattle sales and marketing opportunities.
This is the Angus Report.
Our top story for the week, U.S. gasoline prices jumped 17 cents per gallon last month, the first monthly gain since March, and the biggest July jump in 11 years. Gas averaged $3.71 per gallon in July, with Midwest locations reporting higher numbers. Some states have reportedly seen a 40 to 50 cent increase. Industry analyst Tom Closer reports August prices are likely to climb to a national average of about $3.60 before dropping near Labor Day. Cattlemen's groups are keeping an eye on several legislative initiatives this month as important congressional deadlines near. In order to make progress, lawmakers will need to act on the Farm Bill, dust legislation, and other notable issues after returning from the August recess.
Our number one issue for 2012 is to reform the death tax. That is one of the issues that has plagued the cattle industry for decades. We are in a situation, though, that if something is not done, then on January 1st of 2013, the exemption level goes to $1 million. And anything over that $1 million will be taxed at 55%. These days, with land values the way they are, you do not have to have a very big operation to have assets in excess of $1 million. So we have to get something done. So we're going to work to do everything we can to probably more than likely extend what we currently have for a couple of years, just to make sure that we have some sort of certainty for our producers so they can plan.
The percentage of black-hided cattle in the U.S. cattle population continues to climb. But not all black-hided cattle are created equal. Clint Walenchek of Certified Angus Beef discusses these trends, as well as grades and carcass weights and why it's important to add value to your cattle.
As the cattle market continues to go where it's going and the numbers remain tight and so forth, it's very important, I think, for the farmers and ranchers out there to keep in mind that there is going to continue to be that significant demand for that higher end product. Just the sheer demand for modest and high quality product that's out there in the marketplace, CAB or otherwise, that just because we're getting into a large number of Angus influenced cattle in the population doesn't necessarily mean that we are meeting the demand for the higher quality product out of those cattle. And so I think that's where it's important for them to stay focused on the quality trends, both in genetics and management, that they've been focused on for the last several years, because as we shrink the fed cattle population over the next arguably year to 2 years, it's going to become even more important to make as many of those cattle as possible meet those modest and higher requirements and ultimately meet the customer demands.
The Federal Communications Commission has reworked a fund that traditionally subsidized rural phone service. The FCC says the Connect America Fund will help bring broadband internet access to rural areas. But some state officials suggest the funding reform actually hinders broadband expansion. Many rural communication companies are unsure just how much money they'll receive from the $4.5 billion fund, and that's holding up future fiber optic projects in many areas. According to South Dakota officials, in November, the FCC adopted a set of reforms aimed at bringing broadband to all of rural America by 2020. A man of many firsts will add another distinction to his long list of honors this week. Kenneth Egg will be the first feedlot nutritionist to be honored with the Industry Achievement Award at the 2012 Feeding Quality Forum. The award was created to honor individuals who have had a real impact on the feedlot industry and have affected how it looks and runs today.
I can't think of anybody from our side of the industry to be the first nutritional consultant to be honored in this way. You know, he was one of the original independent consultants. He moved a lot of rocks for the rest of us to get involved in this business.
Ken has been very successful in the cattle industry for several decades as a consultant, as a producer. He has great passion for the industry. He is one of those individuals that understands the concept of giving back. He's giving a significant amount of money to 3 universities, and they're going to do research in confined cow feeding, which should allow the industry hopefully an opportunity to expand the cow herd, to apply more technologies, and move the industry forward.
The 2012 Feeding Quality Forum is sponsored by Certified Angus Beef, Feedlot Magazine, Pfizer Animal Health, and Purina. When the Angus Report returns, we learn more about marketing Angus cattle on the grid.
And we'll look at the newly introduced Angus Trading Post, an eBay-style auction service that offers expanded marketing opportunities.
Visit angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is a 30-minute weekly news program geared toward cattle producers, which features top industry news, practical applications, and stories from across the country. Produced at the American Angus Association in St. Joseph, Missouri, the Angus Report airs every Monday morning, with repeats throughout the week on RFD TV, rural America's most important network. Advertising is available in 2 formats: commercials and program sponsorships. For more information or to reserve your airtime, contact the American Angus Association PR Department at 816-383-5100.